Have you ever had a sudden burst of motivation to finally get your grind on for exams, only to lose that motivation literally a day later? With final exams getting closer and closer, it feels as though we need to be productive 24/7, but this mindset can leave us feeling stressed and burn out really easily. This happens to me all the time, but since starting my A-levels, I've picked up a few tips that have really helped to stop procrastinating and stay on track. Here's how I stay so motivated, so let's get productive together. I tend to burn out so much, like not chronic burnout, but more like I work too much for 1 week and then don't want to do anything for the whole weekend, but then feel like I'm behind on work, so try and compensate for it and overwork the next week, and it just turns into this negative cycle. With exams getting closer and closer, it can be hard to stay motivated without feeling overwhelmed and stressed by it all. Morning. How's it? But my first piece of advice would be to spend some time on something that is completely unrelated to work. Exhaustion is a central symptom of burnout, which undermines your ability to work effectively and enjoy what you're doing. Although this advice may seem kind of contradicting because I'm telling you to actually not do any work, it's important to realize that this can actually be so much more productive than powering through on low energy. By taking the time on an activity that is completely unrelated to whatever it is that's making you feel unmotivated can actually be really productive because it allows you to take a step back and hopefully come back feeling much more focused and energized. Without structure and routine, I literally would not be able to function. From a messy post-it note to a really detailed digital to-do list, I just have to write everything down that I need to do so that I can stop procrastinating so much. I'm not really in the mood to do that much work, but I've got kind of a lot of deadlines right now, so I need to get on and do it anyway. Let's go. For me, when I'm drowning in deadlines and exams, I have to write down exactly what I need to do and when I'm going to be doing it. That's the important part, like the exact time slot that I'm going to do it. This really helps to keep on track because not only do you know what you should be doing right now, but you also know what you need to be doing next and after that and so on. So I'm just about to make my to-do list for tomorrow, and I thought that I'd share with you how I'm going to try and plan it out so that I can be as productive as possible and try not to procrastinate for too much. Make sure that I add extra time after I've scheduled in all these tasks, just in case I want to snack or I overrun or I just want to break, because that means that I still have a little bit of leeway in case any of those things happen. This is actually like a really good example of what I mean by put in that I'm going to start my maths paper at 4:15. I've actually already finished what I wanted to do before, so I'm just going to get started now even though it's only 4 o'clock, and then I'm ahead of schedule and feel really good about that. I think that it's so easy to feel overwhelmed by a never-ending to-do list, and it's just inevitably going to make you feel disappointed if you don't complete everything on there. This definitely happens to me, and if it also happens to you, then I'd say to try writing down maybe 1 or 2 big tasks and then a few, maybe 4 or 5 smaller tasks that you know are not going to take as much effort or time, because that way it doesn't feel as overwhelming. What else did I want to say? And for larger tasks, I like to split them up into like smaller sections so that it just makes it seem more manageable. Otherwise it can feel kind of overwhelming. I'll show you what I mean so this makes a little bit more sense. But for example, tomorrow I want to revise for my chemistry test, and that sounds like a massive task. So I'm going to split it up into smaller sections. Things I'm going to write down is things like read through my summary sheet, maybe practice some textbook questions. I could like make flashcards, test myself, do a past paper, you know, that kind of thing. I think just splitting it up makes it so much more manageable, and that's something that I definitely recommend if you feel like trying that out.
Staring out the window, reaching for a North Star, waiting just to wake up from this nightmare where you could be right back in my arms, dancing to the limbo, stuck here in the middle. You tell me that it's simple, but I could paint 1,000 different pictures of what is wrong. But if we turn...
I heard something recently that really made me stop procrastinating. Firstly, think about what your goal is. Is it to get into your dream uni, reach that grade that you've been trying to get for a really long time now? And then think about the steps that you need to take to get there. So if your goal was to get that grade, then you'd be thinking things like you need to be proactive with work, maybe revise for tests a little bit earlier, that kind of thing, you know what I mean. If you know exactly what you're aiming for and what you need to do in order to reach that goal, then that is a massive step because now you know what you need to do, so hopefully it will be a lot easier to actually do it. I hope that this makes sense, but basically keep the goal in mind and stay positive because you will get there and it just takes time. If you reached it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. It was kind of a bit of a different one. I decided to switch up a little bit this week, but if you enjoyed it, then make sure to let me know by liking this video or leaving a comment. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then feel free to do that if you would like to. I will hopefully see you again very soon. Bye!